What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Dragon Age Inquisition. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and of course, if you want to catch up on the rest of the Let's Play so far, go ahead and check the description below. I'll have the whole series down there in order for everybody. So our war table missions should be done from yesterday. Let us take a look. The reaction from House Amladaris was so quick and vehement, it can only mean they've known about this scandal in their family tree for some time. Centuries, perhaps. Their first responses were threats, but after being assured of our serious intent, they quickly changed their tune. Several retainers arrived with a letter for you. Josephine, the retainer's letter. My dear Inquisitor, naturally, these accusations of a connection to those old legends are without merit, and even if that weren't the case, it would have little meaning to my family today. We are Tevinter citizens of good standing, uninterested in whatever this Corypheus has to offer, and will support the Inquisition in its efforts to fight this creature however we may. Magister Irian of House Amladaris, and he gave us a Master Spirit rune. So they backed down real quick once we threatened to expose the connection there. And now they're paying us. Kind of beautiful. I'll take that. Unmask those across the sea. This is an old one. If you remember, there was strange chalk markings on our outposts that we tried to get Liliana to catch, but the person they caught drank like a cyanide pill from her medallion or something. Let's see what happened with Zevran. Word from Zevran Irene. The Inquisition is not much for subtlety, is it? Still, a head-on battle gets the blood pumping. Lord Enzo and his Venatori might disagree. I dropped a few hints for the crows, implying that your soldiers were following a lead, and Lord Enzo just happened to be present. A happy accident. Trust me, you do not want the crows to think you were working against them. Zevran Irene, and evading the crows is right there, which I imagine would be to help Zevran, because they've been wanting to kill him since Origins. Hard in Hightown, a worthy dwarf. Nightingale, we removed the dwarf from his home in Hightown. He had another manuscript in progress, which was burned, doused in acid, and thrown into the sea. Apparently, he has a beef with Varrock for setting up the champion of Kirkwall with another runecrafter. He ranted about better beards and true dwarves, and then declared himself the greatest writer in Thedas, at which point Fletcher laughed so hard she started choking. That dwarf is a menace. And he claims he didn't send a note to Skyhold, Cooper. So where the hell did the note come from then if it wasn't him? I don't see why he would lie about it if he's admitted everything else. And we are done. We're done with the frozen side of the war table. No more contracts. Right, let's hop on over here. Let's make sure. Let's unmask those across the sea. I had our people remove the downward pointing triangular symbols from our outposts. They have not made a reappearance, which means little. It's clear someone has an interest in the Inquisition. Someone organized, with ties to those across the sea. We've eliminated the Canare as the most obvious suspects. Nonetheless, knowing who they're not does not tell us who they are, what they're doing, or why. They're clever, we know that, and they have resources. But so do we, and they should learn that they are not to toy with the Inquisition. Liliana. If our investigations have any hope of succeeding, we'll have to strike hard and fast, before they even know we're looking. A coordinated effort, hitting all the leads we have at once. This is pointless. I won't commit our forces to hunting a shadowy cabal obsessed with little chalk drawings. I say we forget this and focus on Corypheus. No, we will hunt them down.
Inquisitor.
Nobody gets to draw chalk on my outposts, okay? Truth or Dare, the end game. Ambassador Montilier, we have never met, but I believe you have, through discreet means, saved me from a most disagreeable connection. As I dislike being indebted to anyone, I shall endeavor to repay you with a news item of some interest. Were you aware that the Grand Duchess of Leeds recently paid a visit to Lake Celestine? Indeed, she stayed an entire fortnight as a guest of Duke Alvin Blanchard of Valmontaigne. In light of her other connections, and the curious amount of coin which spread across the region in the aftermath, you may wish to pay him a call. Sincerely, Duke Valir Fontaine. Send our agents in. We can expose his connections to Florian for all the world to see. If Duke Blanchard was conspiring with Florian, the Imperial Court would like to know. We send
Let us begin.
Josie on that, which leaves us with just Cullen. Sarah cannot simply vandalize our reports. There is no record of any of this. A memo from Josephine written on a letter from an outlying landholder. Inquisition leaders. I have reports of a gathering of resources to be moved into Venatori hands. I send this with the hope that you have the means to track who may be responsible. I overheard the possibility, but further inquiry yielded no more detail. It is unfolding well above my station. Sir Gaston of Wildervale. Sarah has scrawled several notes below, also a sketch of a randy nug herder. Squire with a limp says horses for 20, small force. 3 farmers say they were kicked out of homes, root. Merchant says the carts are heavy, for carrying armor weapons. Says they shortchanged him, so he didn't tell about wobbly wheel. Will slow them through the pass. Easy pickings, right? Blockading a caravan is a small but provocative matter. Do we trust this information? Yes, we do.
Inquisitor.
Go block that. Blockade that and check it. If they're shipping weapons and arms to the Venatori, then I would like to know about it. So, last episode, we talked to Varric, Josephine, Dorian, Vivian, Iron Bull, and Sarah. So this episode, we have Cassandra, Blackwall, and Liliana, and Cole. But we'll start with Blackwall, because we might have Blackwall's quest at this point. So, if we do, then we should get going on that as soon as possible.
Want a drink? I've a hankering for company.
We got some free time.
When I was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day, they found a dog. A wretched little thing. It came to them for food. They caught it, tied a rope around its neck, and strung it up. Do you know what I did?
Nothing, I would assume, right, is the point of the story. You seem like you're brooding. This was probably before you did what you did with the Wardens and everything else.
You stopped them? Cut the dog down?
I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting. And I turned around, went inside, and closed the door. I could have told my father, or alerted someone. I didn't. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
And I imagine this is why he views things the way that he does later in life, through regret of that. I mean, he's a kid, right? It's hard to judge him for that, although I can't really imagine myself allowing something like that to happen without losing my mind.
You said you were just a boy.
I was old enough to know the dog was suffering and that it was wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself. We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
A lot of people think that way, I think. And he's right, it would be very easy to make the world a better place. It's just most people don't feel like doing that.
Nothing worth doing is easy.
Look at you. You would have done the right thing. We're lucky there are people like you in the world. There's always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to stay away.
I imagine a lot of that influenced his decisions later in life, like I said, right? That's probably a lot to do with why he is the man that he is, and he works so hard to take care of the things that he does. Probably why he wanted to join the Wardens, right? To a degree. Yeah, that thing with the dog, even just like imagining that is super annoying to me. They'd have to string me up too before I would let something like that happen. I'm pretty big on dogs and cats and animals in general. That's an over my dead body kind of situation. A message from Blackwall. Inquisitor, you've been a friend and an inspiration. You've given me the wisdom to know right from wrong, and, more importantly, the courage to uphold the former. It's been my honor to serve you. The Inquisition messenger.
The spy master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
Go on. Liliana knows where he is, doesn't she? She knows everything.
She doesn't know everything, yet. Sister Liliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it could be a good place to start.
A crumpled report. A crumpled sheet of paper. It looks like it was removed from a recent report to Sister Liliana. Lieutenant Cyril Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre of 937, who was captured in Leeds. Like the others who were arrested for their involvement, Mornay insists that he did not know who he was assassinating, and that he was just following the orders of his captain. This captain, Thom Rainier, is still at large. Mornay is to be executed within the week in Val Royeaux. This is the second time we've heard about Thom Rainier. The last time was in the Exalted Plains. There was a soldier fighting for Duke Gaspard who was looking to get a release so he could go hunt down Thom Rainier, and the other soldier had commented that Thom Rainier would be stupid if he came within 100 miles of the capital. So that's the second time we've heard the name. Blackwall obviously has some involvements. Blackwall has left the Inquisition. It appears to have something to do with the impending execution of a man named Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre. Attend Mornay's execution. You can do that. Maybe he wants to conscript him to save his life or something. He's a warden, right? So he could. Maybe his card has changed now. He could be just trying to conscript him for the Wardens. He was a soldier in Orlais, right? He talked about winning the Grand Tourney. Maybe they know each other.
Cyril Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers.
The wife
You
and
are sentenced to be hanged from the neck.
the wife and their
until
children
death.
too.
Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
What can you say?
Human justice.
Look at all these people. I thought we were more civilized than this.
We have never been too civilized for this.
Proceed.
Stop!
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Blackwall! No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
You, after all this time.
It's over. I'm done hiding. I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Thom Rainier.
Should have probably talked about this with us before you got here. The odd thing about him confessing that is, I think it's important to remember that he didn't need to do that. He could have whipped out some Grey Warden papers and demanded conscription for that guy, and he would have saved him all the same. He didn't need to confess his deeds there to get what he wanted at all, if that's all he wanted. But that's not all that he wanted. He wants clearly to atone for things. Because we've convinced him that it would be the best thing, right? Convince him about doing the right thing after what he said about the dog being strung up. And you heard a bit about his crimes, the general, his wife, and his 4 children. So he slaughtered an entire family. Why? I guess we'll get to know.
Can you believe it? Thom Rainier himself.
You must know something about Rainier.
I know what everyone knows. He'll hang for the massacre of a noble and his family.
Where did they take the prisoner?
In the jail of the marketplace. If you've goodbyes to say them now. It's a damn mess, but believe you me, it'll be sorted out quick. Lots of people can't wait to see that man swing. Guess not.
I can tell you that that is not going to happen. Although impersonating a Grey Warden is quite a serious case of stolen valor. That's not great.
You know they sent Lady Morrigan to
And
the Inquisition.
not only that,
For certain they'd hang her.
Why would
you
Empress
know about
Lily
Morrigan,
do
huh?
such a thing? I understand she's fond of the woman.
There's
She wormed her way into the
quite a serious accusation there of killing the family, and then impersonating a Grey Warden to escape that makes that worse. And then you got to wonder how the Warden died, right? And did the Warden conscript him, and then he offed him to take his identity? Or, I mean, we'll have to talk to him about it, but it's like a double down. It's bad that he gave his men orders to slaughter a noble family, and then it's also bad that he assumed the identity of a Grey Warden. And that is the reason why he always seemed so sus when people were talking about Corypheus and the Calling, right? It didn't really make sense. It's because he wasn't experienced in any of that. He had a convenient excuse for all of that, about how he was just going to be alone and recruiting for years. So he lied to us a whole bunch too, more than he needed to. Could have just left it at Blackwall, right? Didn't have to compound everything.
I didn't take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
I want to say both of these things, but unfortunately we can't. What he did, stepping forward like that with the Hangman's Noose, is brave, but I also want to question him about why he killed those people.
Was the bailiff telling the truth? Did you really do those things?
Yes, I did. It's all true. It's time we all took a good look at who I really am. Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Callier, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran. Those men, my men, paid for my treason, while I was pretending to be a better man. This is what I am. A murderer, a traitor, a monster.
Why did you do what you did?
I know you're more than what you say. Have some faith in yourself.
Look, it's inexcusable what he's done. There's no doubt about it. He probably should swing for it. But despite whether he should or shouldn't swing, we kind of need him. And he's doing good work for the Inquisition. If he wants to throw himself on the sword about it, then he should die. Find the Darkspawn. He should really take the joining. He should become a Warden for real to atone for all of this, right? They take all sorts, and clearly the real Warden Blackwall thought he was worthy when he recruited him. I don't see what better atonement just walking up to the gallows and letting some random dude hang him would be versus that.
Yes.
And over time, he'd get what he wanted anyway, right? The Calling will take care of that if he doesn't die with the Darkspawn.
I need to know the details of what you did, who you killed.
And it's a 50-50 that he might die during the joining itself.
A general, all for gold. The man was General Vincent Callier. My employer was a Chevalier, Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert believed that Grand Duke Gaspard was the rightful ruler of Orlais, and would eventually take the throne. He thought that by eliminating one of Celine's loyal supporters, he might endear himself to the true Emperor. I can't say if Robert's plan would have worked. I didn't care. There was good coin offered, and I took it. By the time Sir Robert's involvement was uncovered, I was long gone. Of course, the Grand Duke disavowed any knowledge of the act and publicly condemned it. Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim of the great game.
Ole. That's kind of the way that it works, and when you spend so much time encouraging the grand game and all of its players, this is the kind of shit that happens. This is why I don't like Ole.
You got your men to help you. What did you tell them?
They didn't know who they were attacking. I told them it was an important mission. They trusted me without question, just as your men trust you.
Armies are weapons. Weapons don't wield themselves.
Weapons don't have lives, families, dreams. An army is not just a weapon.
Our reports say that Callier was with his family. You had them all slaughtered.
I didn't know Callier would be traveling with his family. I assumed only soldiers, armed guards. My men have been told to eliminate everyone. They'd seen war. They thought they were defending their country. No one likes to think about that. But it's names that carry power in this world. Bloodlines. Heirs. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
It shouldn't be that way. And the Orlesian Empire is at fault for the way that they operate. It's all like the Game of Thrones, right? Westeros, that's what Ole is.
That shouldn't be how wars are fought. There's no need.
War is unfair, and the sky is blue.
That is true.
There was no need for what I did.
There's another thing I'm still wondering.
Yes?
I need to know about Blackwall. The real Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was on the run. I was nothing. A waste of life. But he wanted to recruit me. We headed to Valchavan for the joining. The Blackwall insisted on making a stop along the way. An old ruin from one of the previous blights. He said it led to the deep roads. I was to go down alone, find a darkspawn, and fill a vial with its blood. When I returned, I found the Warden ambushed by more of the creatures. He took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should have been me.
That's how the Wardens work, right? We played that out in Ostagar ourselves. You gotta get the vials of Darkspawn blood. We needed 3 because there were 3 recruits, but you need to mix in Darkspawn blood with the Archdemon blood. It's part of the ritual. And I suppose it's a good test of if you're actually capable of fighting them to begin with, right? If you can't kill a Darkspawn and take its blood, being a Warden isn't going to do you much good. Just having a tie to them doesn't make you a good warrior.
It was a heroic act, stepping between you and a Darkspawn.
I wasn't worthy. He would have wanted me to carry on to Valchavan, I'm certain. But without Blackwall, there was no proof that I'd been recruited. That I didn't kill him. I couldn't go to the Wardens. But I couldn't just walk away. So, Rainier died. And Blackwall lived.
He probably could have gone to the Wardens. I suppose it's up to debate whether he kind of just choked and bottled it or not. Like, maybe he wanted to intentionally avoid the join-in, and that's why he was so eager to convince himself that he shouldn't go. But I think they would have taken him regardless. Nobody just shows up to a Grey Warden outpost and says they've been recruited to the join-in.
Who were you before this mess?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. Well regarded, respected. But it wasn't enough. One mistake. One mistake and everything I worked for fell apart.
The man on the gallows, Mornay. Who was he?
My second in command. He was a good man. When I heard he'd been caught, I was resolved to stop his execution. Couldn't let another die for my mistake.
That's all for now.
Oh boy. Alright, Cullen. You're the commander of our army. What are our options here? I don't think an invasion would be wise.
Liliana's report on Thom Rainier.
I'm sure I know Cullen's perspective on what we should do here. He probably thinks we should let him hang.
Give me the overview.
Looks like our friend was once a respected captain in the Imperial Orlesian army. Before the Civil War, he was turned, persuaded to assassinate one of Celene's biggest supporters. He led a group of fiercely loyal men on this mission, and told them nothing of it. His men took the fall for him. A few lucky ones, like Mornay, managed to escape.
Let me guess. Our spy master had this lying around somewhere, didn't she?
It would have been difficult for anyone to connect Blackwall to Rainier. Even Liliana has something of a blind spot when it comes to Wardens. What do we do now? Blackwall... Rainier has accepted his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
If it were up to you, what would happen?
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. And yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause.
And a lot of innocent people along the way.
Turns around and owns up to it. Why?
I mean, we met him while he was helping and saving random peasants, right? Fight against the mercenaries in the hinterlands. So he's probably done a lot of good along the way.
Some part of you is impressed by what he did, isn't it?
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, I'll give him that. But I can't tell you what to do.
I'm not gonna let him swing on some shit gallows inside Val Royeaux. I can tell you that much.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Skyhold.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let some random Orlesians swing him on Val Royeaux's gallows. I think the ideal penance for that is probably what the actual real Warden Blackwall intended, right? He saw something in him as a warden, and who am I to judge or disavow that? It's not Blackwall's decision to say he's unworthy either. That's not for him to judge. That's not how that works. It's like, almost if somebody loved you, right? And you're like, no, don't be in love with me. I don't deserve you. You can do better. Like, that's not up to you. That's up to the person. So, I think the best thing to do here would be to have him actually join the Wardens like he was originally supposed to, because he already assumed the mantle and he's already proven that he's prepared to do the right thing now, given all that he's done. And again, his story is not going to end on some shit gallow in Val Royeaux with a bunch of applauding peasants. He's better than that, but he does deserve to die for what he did. And the Wardens guarantees that he will either die fighting the Darkspawn, or he will die with the Calling in the Deep Roads. If you think it worthwhile, we can have Thom Rainier, previously known to us as Blackwall, released from the Val Royeaux prison in which he awaits justice. Keep in mind, Inquisitor, that he is wanted in Orlais for the massacre which claimed the lives of Lord Vincent Callier, general and staunch ally of Selene, and all of Callier's family. I leave this in your hands. Cullen. 2 problems, 1 solution. There is a traitor to our cause, a man similar in build and appearance to Rainier. We bind and gag him, and have him take Rainier's place. He is condemned instead, and the world believes Rainier has paid the price. We can storm the prison with a small force and take Rainier into custody. Val Royeaux's prison guards will oppose us. We should be prepared for casualties. I can request a special dispensation from the Orlesian throne, allowing Thom Rainier to be transferred to Inquisition custody. This may anger some, but after Halam Shiral, they owe us a favor. I think Liliana's option here would be the best for this. We get rid of a traitor, and we can judge Blackwall for ourselves, and he gets the clean slate if he chooses to take it. I think that's the best option here. Our chosen replacement was sentenced in Thom Rainier's stead. As far as the world knows, Rainier met his death at dawn. My agents will maintain the deception, silencing all rumors. The real Rainier is in our custody. Liliana. Alright, let's go judge Blackwall. I would say I don't really like to judge a warden, but he's not a warden. although he is technically a Warden recruit. The rite of conscription is an important thing in the entirety of Thedas. Nobody is above that. There's a reason it is written down to include kings and queens in any form of justice you want. Grey Wardens are pretty much the only thing in Thedas that can defy a king's orders like that. The king can say they want somebody executed, and a Grey Warden can step up and recruit them, no matter the circumstances around that.
For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Thom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. It was no small expense to bring him here, but the decision of what to do with him is now yours.
This is potentially going to be a rough thing.
I didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret. I know you put another man in my place. Haven't enough died for me.
I wish there'd been another way, but my options were limited.
You could have left me there. I accepted my punishment. I was ready for all this to end. Why would you stop it? What becomes of me now?
Free him to make amends for his crimes. Keep him in servitude. Give Rainier to the Wardens once this is over. I think, all things considered, this is the best option. He should go to the Wardens. He was already recruited. He just needs to pass his join-in. That's the way that this should work.
Blackwall intended you join the Wardens. I will let them decide your fate, but only when Corypheus is dead. For now, Thom Rainier, the Inquisition needs you.
As you command.
Blackwall gave you the chance to atone through action, not merely punishment. I find I can do no less.
I am grateful for this, Inquisitor. And I will serve for as long as I can.
Well, let's get him out of the shackles. I wonder how the rest of my party will judge him going forward from that too. I think he seemed to at least kind of win Cullen over, but Cassandra I don't think will be so easy to convince that that was a good thing to do. It's good to get rid of a traitor, of course, but there are other parts of that, right? Right, let's go quickly. We are done with the episode now. We are going to wrap this one on up. But I want to see if my prisoners spawned down in the cells yet, or if it's still just the mayor of Crestwood by himself. Because we progressed quite a bit, so... I mean, realistically, we have Florian as a jester, which I assume she's held in the prisons and the in-betweens of that. And we should have that one magister, too. But I don't see any of them currently. Crestwood's mayor. Nobody around here. Only one more place to check. I wonder if it's just a bug. Yeah. It probably is just a bug. Because I thought these prison cells, I'm sure they're supposed to fill up, because there's so many of them, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 prison cells in here.
No one to watch over, your worship. We either have many friends, or you've made short work of enemies.
I suppose that's fine. Anyways, that is where we are going to wrap this one on up. We need to talk to Liliana and Cassandra after this and make a decision on who we're going to support as the next divine. Beyond that, then we can go to the last two locations we have on the world map to take care of, which would be Emprise de Leon and the Emerald Graves. And I guess technically that little island, which is going to end up being like over here, but that's for the shards. Which once we do Emerald Graves and Emprise de Leon, we'll have the last of the shards, so then we can go over here and do that. Anyways, thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment on your way out, and I will see you soon with more Dragon Age Inquisition. Take care, everybody. Have a good day. Peace.